Today I'm going to discuss a spectacular online program called IXL. IXL is a software that allows students to learn and practice math and language arts from pre-kindergarten to 12th grade, science and social studies from 2nd to 8th grade, and Spanish with 144 skills to practice. As I scroll down the page, you can see all the skills provided for every grade. The site is easy to use and friendly to all. The online software can be purchased by individual families, classroom teachers, and school districts. Classroom teachers and school districts who have purchased the program for use will provide students with a username and password. At the top right-hand corner, there is a place to input the student's username and password. I am going to log in as a student user to demonstrate some of the program's tools. My specific account provides me the practice with math, science, and social studies. You can also see that towards the top of this page, there is a white bar. The first and second bar are recommendations and diagnostics. Diagnostics and recommendations are specifically geared towards mathematics. This is good for teachers that want to have students work at their own pace, but also work on skills that they individually need to practice. For a student to use the diagnostic section, the teacher would input the student's grade, so that way the diagnostic exam would begin by practicing questions that are around the student's level in grade. Once the student was all set up, they would be able to hit Let's Get Started. Once the student hits Let's Get Started, they would be able to choose which question they would like to answer first. Once the student has completed their diagnostic exam, they'd be able to go back and hit Recommendations. Once the student hits Recommendations, you'll notice that there are a bunch of questions that the student could pick from. These questions would be specifically geared towards the student and the data that they were used during the diagnostic exam. Once the student has done some of this practice, they could also go to a specific subject in math. So let's say that I'm in kindergarten and I want to practice numbers and counting up to 3. So I'd pick this first one. What's great about this is that for some students who may not be able to read yet, they'd be able to hit this little microphone that will actually read the instructions to the student. So I'd then count the ducks, 1, 2, 3. I would then be able to select the number of ducks that I have counted. I'd select 3. Now, once I hit submit, it's going to tell me super or great job. It will give me some sort of feedback saying that I have got the answer correct. Now, let's pretend that I got the question incorrect. So even though there are 2 cupcakes, let's pretend I counted 3. If I were to click 3 and hit submit, it would tell me, sorry, you were incorrect. But then it would give me an explanation why. This is really good for students who need specific and immediate feedback. This will allow them to learn and practice from what their mistakes were. I would then say, got it, and then I would move on. Another cool thing about this is that towards this right-hand corner and side of this page, you can see it says questions answered. This is the amount of questions that I have answered throughout my practice on this specific skill. It also tells me the time that I've spent on it. And it also tells me my score. The score is allowing me to see how often and how well I'm doing. So it kind of has its own analytics that it is able to do that results. Now, you can see there's also a standard section. Under the standard section, you can pick whatever state that you would want to see what standards are available towards the skills. For New Jersey, it is fully aligned with all the content, meaning all of the standards for all of these grades and subjects, they are all provided. Finally, there's an awards section. This awards section is really great for students who need positive reinforcement. This allows students to earn rewards and prizes based on the amount of questions that they've gotten correct. Another great thing that is mostly used for parents and teachers is the analytics. The analytics allows teachers and parents to see the usage, the trouble spots, the scores, the questions the students answered, and the progress they've made. So this shows the amount of questions they've answered, the amount of time they've spent practicing, the skills that they've made during their progress, and it also breaks it down into different charts so that way you can see it and understand it. The trouble spots goes over the different areas that the students have struggled with. The scores go over literally the scores that they've earned. The questions, you can search which questions they've answered and how they did on them, and the same with the progress. It demonstrates how the students are doing along with their time. This program is awesome, and it's really great for differentiating classrooms. This can be used within centers within school. It can be used as extra practice, and it's really good for helping students who need extra practice at home as well. Thank you so much for listening.